Welcome to North Hagerstown High School. Getting ready for high school volleyball action here between the North Hagerstown Hubs and the Clear Spring Blazers. Thanks for joining us here tonight on Antietam Broadband for high school volleyball, sponsored by Hagestown Kia and Hagerstown Honda, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's game and the schools they represent and the surrounding communities that support them. Joined by Letty Wilkes here, getting ready for action, early season action. We don't usually get to see that here, Letty.
Yeah, it's usually in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
we're doing
so Clear Spring's already got one match under their belts. They swept Brunswick on Tuesday evening, and for North Hagerstown, season opener for them here tonight. What's the, as both a player and a coach, what's that early season like, especially a first match here? What are the jitters like? How do you kind of get rid of those jitters?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the anticipation from preseason, practicing every day and seeing what their team's doing together, and then they finally have a chance to get on the court and play an opposing opponent from their county, which is even more fun because they probably know a lot of people across the net from them. But I'd say it's a lot of adrenaline rush, excitement. So we might see a little bit of rattled nerves here at the start just to get it going, but I think that they'll settle in pretty quick.
I said Clear Spring having that match under their belts already. How does that help them against a team like North, who an embarrassment of riches talent-wise?
Right.
Really.
So I think Clear Spring, they've already got those jitters out. They're prepared. They got a game under their belt. They've kind of worked with the coaches have worked with the team to what did not work, what they need to change. So they're coming into the game already fixing some things that didn't work for them, or going on and doing things that did work for them. For North, they just they're a talented team. They got to get the jitters out quick and set the tone for the game. I think it'll be it's a match that's going to go one way or the other. Clear Spring is always a hustling team, and they're a true team. They work together. They work hard. They're going to run into the bleachers for a dead ball. North has a lot of talent. It's how much pressure does Clear Spring put on North that they can't utilize their offense. North High will want to be in system the whole time. That means the setter has all options. You can set all of her players. But Clear Spring is going to want to get North out of system where they do not have the opportunity to set their big hitters. They have a big lineup at the net, both hitting and blocking. Clear Spring might not be as tall, but that doesn't mean that they can't conquer the game. Defense can definitely win ball games too. So we'll see how this develops. We'll see how the jitters are, and we'll just see how the match goes.
Okay. Well, stay with us. We'll have more to come here from North Hagerstown High School. High school volleyball action between the Hubs and the Blazers right here, sponsored by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
Lots here at Hagerstown Honda and Kia.
Oh, I have an idea. Here's how I would do it. Hello there. Hey, I'm Scott with Hagerstown Honda and Kia, and I want to buy your car.
Yeah, that one's probably not going to work.
Better yet, just bring your vehicle to Hagerstown Kia and Honda. We'll do a quick inspection, crunch some numbers with you, and then we'll trade your title for a check. Hagerstown Honda and Kia. Turn your car into cash. Seems like everyone you meet today claims to be a content creator. Well, at Antietam Media Services, we're much more than just content creators. We're producers, directors, and editors that are never afraid to roll up our sleeves and bring our expertise to you. From full-blown live multicam productions live streamed to the world, to single-camera commercial production, we've got the gear, we've got the people, and we've got the drive to give your event or business the exposure it deserves. We've been doing this since 1981, and Antietam Media Services has produced tens of thousands of hours of live content and thousands of commercials that put your name on the networks and on the digital platforms that provide you the biggest return on investment. It's a big world out there, and we're ready to help you tell your story. Call, email, or log on to AntietamMediaServices.com and tell us more about your project. 4 decades of experience and never afraid of a challenge. We're Antietam Media Services.
Back here at North Hagerstown High School, getting ready for the start of this season opening volleyball match for the Hubs as they take on the Clear Spring Blazers, already with a 1-0 record this season. Glad to have you with us. Sponsored by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia. We'll have more action here from North Hagerstown right after this.
Come see Red Baron Flooring on Basil Boulevard in Hagerstown for the best selection and the most competitive prices. Shop our beautiful showroom or select your new flooring from our large warehouse where our in-stock values save you time and money. You can rely on our knowledgeable sales staff to make shopping at Red Baron the same satisfying experience for you that it's been for Tri-State consumers for more than 40 years. So let our flooring experts help you to the best selection at everyday low prices. Visit us at Red Baron Flooring on Basil Boulevard next to Labor's Office Furniture in Hagerstown.
Now's the best time to purchase your new vehicle from Hagestown Kia. Hagerstown Kia is having vehicles delivered weekly and they don't last long, so check out HagerstownKia.com daily. Trade-in values have never been better for the new Kia buyer, with values being up nearly 40% nationally. And if you can't find what you're looking for, let Hagerstown Kia's helpful sales consultants custom order the exact Kia you've always dreamed of owning. Reserve your new Kia from the dealer that's making it easy. Hagerstown Kia.
For over 30 years, Antietam Broadband has been bringing you one-of-a-kind local programming, from coverage of our high school sports to unique programming like our Civil War and Washington County series. Now you can own them on Blu-ray and DVD. Just visit store.antietamcable.com, where you'll find all your favorite local programming from Antietam Broadband. Browse through our categories to find the perfect gift. Antietam Broadband and Antietam Media Services, bringing quality local programming to your home.
Welcome back to North Hagerstown High School. Getting ready for the start of this high school volleyball match between the North Hagerstown Hubs and the Clear Spring Blazers. Brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia. Great to have you with us here tonight on Antietam Broadband for our live high school sports coverage. Mark Keller and Letty Wilkes with you. And Letty, we see these Hubs, a very experienced team. 6 seniors on this roster, and names that we've talked about a lot. It seems like they've been here forever. Names like Gabby Grantham Medley, Armani Kenny, Marley Knight, Aubrey Chamberlain. Really, the experience factor for this Hubs team is almost overwhelming.
Right, yeah. They've been here. It seems like we have been saying their names quite frequently. So at this point, hopefully they're pretty developed.
North on serve to start this first set. And the first point of the match goes to the Blazers.
So that's really big on Clear Spring's part. They just won the first rally there, and they didn't have the serve. So we'll see how aggressive they are on the serve to see if they can get North out of system.
Haley Ernst serving.
North right now is getting all their passing off a serve receive and defensively digging. They're digging too tight to the net. They're giving their setter a really hard time to set and run that offense to get a good attack attempt there. So I don't know. This might be what we talked about just a second ago. They might be just trying to settle in a little bit. If Clear Spring can approach this and serve aggressively, like I just mentioned, they could put North in some tough situations, which they're absolutely doing at this point. North has not actually had an attempt to really attack the ball, and Clear Spring's defending very well. Volleyball is a game of momentum, too. It's very hard. So Clear Spring's up 4-0 right now. Very wise on Coach Crawford's part there, taking a timeout due to the fact that it's a game of momentum, and it's hard to come back real quick if you get down quick, because every point scores.
Very quick 4-0 lead here for the Blazers.
I would say Coach Crawford's probably telling them, just settle in right now. Let's get our passing so that we can get the ball to our setter and we can run an offense so we're in system. And again, I've referred to that before, but in system is when the setter gets a pass to her that she can use all her hitters. The other five people on the team can actually attack. Out of system is where the setter can't utilize those hitters. So she might only be able to set one person. So Clear Spring's goal is to get North out of system. It's a good pass by Gabby Grantham Medley. And that's a good attack by Armani Kinney.
That's Armani Kinney.
Makes a world of difference if you get the ball to the setter and she can run the offense like I've referred to here the last couple points. So that was a good side out for them coming out of that timeout. And now they got the ball back in their possession. So North, the same for them. They need to serve Clear Spring very aggressive and get them out of system.
Sophia Williams on serve for North Hagerstown. And just like that, the Hubs have cut the lead in half, 2-4.
So far on the Blazers side, their passing from serve receive and their defense is all going to where they need the ball to go. They're very disciplined in that sense at this point in time in the match. Good dig right there. That's unfortunate. I'm not sure the setter, Clear Spring, realized that they were going to dig that ball. That was a great dig, but that was also a great attack on North from Bailey Doolin there. She's definitely an explosive hitter, and she's got a high flying jump, which is going to help her attack on the outside. We'll definitely see more from her this match. So, and just like that, I said the momentum can shift. Just like that, there was a side out, and now it's 4-all. So Addison Ziegler, I think we've mentioned her name before, Mark.
Yes, we did.
She's a lefty that plays for Clear Spring, and lefties are golden in the game of volleyball. There's not many of them, and it's always hard to defend because it's not the normal to the eye. So she's going to score a little bit just because it looks different to the defender.
Ziegler just a sophomore for Clear Spring. Now it'll be Bailey Doolin serving for North Hagerstown, another sophomore. And Ziegler's
trying to get Addison the ball there. She just was a little late getting to it, so she contacted the net. Bailey Doolin served that ball short. She's trying to mess up Clear Spring serve receive, try to get them to move a little much. She did a good job getting them a little bit out of system there. That's a great attack by Gabby Grantham Medley down the line. That's a really hard ball to defend. If she starts swinging down the line and scoring like that, then Clear Spring will definitely have to adjust their defense to read that or adjust their block.
7-5 Hubs.
Good attack by Addison Ziegler. Little tight.
Marley Knight with the dig. And the point to the Hubs, now 8-5.
Gabby Grantham Medley handled that. That set was definitely tight, and I don't know how she stayed out of the net, but unfortunately Clear Spring got in the net on that one. But it was very tight, so they were all going at it. A little sloppy play right now. Addison Ziegler's good dig from North.
Marley Knight again with that dig.
Nice block by North. Clear Spring's going to hustle. They're going to be there covering. They're going to be there wherever their team is. Nice rally. That was a really good rally between both teams there. Just a little bit deep there for Gabby Grantham Medley, but that's the thing about Clear Spring. They're always going to come. They're always going to hustle, and when you think they're not going to get the ball up, they're going to be there to defend. They might not be the tallest team or have the biggest hitters, but they can play together. Nice attack by Armani Kinney. And it was nice to see Clear Spring even get a touch on that, get a hand on that ball.
Kenny will be serving here now. Up 9-6. Set to Ziegler. Nice save
A
there
little
by Doolin.
communication error there in Clear Spring. You know, Mark, it's really interesting. Both teams right now, they're kind of, I don't know if it's the adrenaline or, you know, like I said, the first game jitters, but they're not all in system. They're kind of a little bit scrambled on the court, and nobody's really running an offense to naturally put the ball away. It's just roll shots, put the ball in play, and let's see if they can defend and get it back over the net. So I really haven't seen any terminations at this point.
Kenny still on serve. That's the winner there, 12-6.
And really what's causing that is in serve receive, their passing is struggling a little bit, and defensively they're not getting the ball up to where the setter is for them to be able to run that good offense and have terminations.
Tonight's live coverage here on Antietam Broadband, brought to you by Hagestown Honda and Hagerstown Kia, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's match, the schools they represent, and the surrounding communities that support them. 12-6 North Hagerstown lead here. First set action from North Hagerstown High School. The Hubs come back onto the court.
Good timeout by Clear Spring here. Hopefully they can, sometimes you just call a timeout to see if you can change the momentum, to miss a serve or just get them out of their sink. So we'll see how North comes out of this timeout. Armani Kinney, a senior, she probably knows I got to put this serve in play here and not make a mistake after a timeout. So she definitely did just put that ball in play. Good attack there from Clear Spring out of the middle. Gabby Grantham with the kill. So that was a really good time. They were able to run that offense. Maybe they heard me talk about they needed an opportunity to terminate the ball, though. But Clear Spring's definitely hanging in there right now.
You just mentioned a pair of Division I athletes there for North Hagerstown. Armani Kenny committed to play volleyball at Navy next year. And Gabby Grantham Medley will be playing basketball for Duquesne University.
It's a good aggressive serve by Clear Spring. Gabby Grantham roll shot. She should have, if she wants to score, she's going to have to put the ball down.
Another nice dig by Marley Knight for the Hubs. Faith Moore, Clear Spring there on the block. 14-7 now. Hubs leading it.
So North setter Aubrey Chamberlain is coming back to serve now. So they have a big front line up there. They're going to put up a big block, and they have three pretty good attackers. So Clear Spring is definitely going to have to put the pressure on them. Unfortunately, that set was a little wide there for Clear Spring, and it was outside the antenna. So when it's out of bounds like that, it's out of play.
Chamberlain serving 15-7 North Hagerstown.
Clear Spring handled that out of system. It's a good defend there by Clear Spring. Again, out of system. Off the block. Yeah, good dig by North High. A little bit, when they're defending, they're getting their digs too tight to the net. And Audrey Chamberlain, she's working really hard to try to get up there and get those balls out of the net, but they're putting a lot of pressure on her. Clear Spring's keeping it off, and they're having better attempts when they're out of system. Their libero has had to step in a lot on the second balls, and she forearm passes it, and she's doing a really good job getting it to her pin hitters, which means the right side of the outside, and they're the ones you want to attack in that attempt. So they're doing a good job out of system. North needs to just bring the ball off a little bit of the net so they can help their setter out. She's doing a good job trying to handle it, but it's a tough job right now.
And that point was just reversed, going to North Hagerstown now 16-7. Clear Spring
I
coach
think they're
Custer getting an explanation now.
Yeah, the official and Custer, they're talking about the ball that was like a joust in the net. There were two people up at the net with their hands. They're saying it went back and forth. I'm not really sure what, it wasn't that tight of a play to, but I'm assuming they're saying the Clear Spring come over too much, so North gets the ball on that one. That's what the they're discussing. I'd have to see a replay on that to justify.
So 16-7 North.
It's a good dig. Clear Spring's there every time. They get it up somehow.
And Grantham Medley with the kill, 17-7.
Grantham Medley definitely got a kill on that. That was more of a tip for him, more of a throw tip. A little bit more on that. She better be careful because the ref might call that a little bit, but it was passable there. North's definitely, I said that the setter is back row, so they have a bigger front line. They're definitely put up a bigger block now, and it's being more effective for them.
And it's Kayla Turner.
Kayla Turner, yep. She's doing really well of making herself available in the middle. A lot of times in transition play, playing defense, it's very hard to get to the middle of the ball, but that's when you want to set the middle, is in transition play, not out of serve receive, because your block's there waiting on them. So in transition, everybody's moving everywhere, so your middle's going to have a better chance of scoring in that transition play.
And Turner with a block there.
That
another block
there it
by
goes
Turner.
again. So they're definitely getting in sync with their block and talking up at the net. So that was a great play there. It's a decoy play, and the middle, Kayla Turner went back behind the setter, which we call a slide, and number 11, Candace Doolin, came around and hit a front two. So it was a cross pattern. And Clear Spring definitely did not see that coming. And that's always going to mess up your block and defense, and a great availability to score. The only way you can do that is have the ball to your setter, and North did a good job that time. So what that tells me is North has the availability to run a very dynamic offense. If they can get their passes to their setter, they can run more of those really cool dynamic plays. If you don't pass, you can't run those plays. So that was nice to see. That's what volleyball should look like right there. Aggressive serve there by Clear Spring.
19-9. Hubs leading here now.
It's easy for North right now to just kind of brush that off and settle, just because they do have such a lead. But Clear Spring definitely needs to keep the pressure on them. Because again, it's a game of momentum. Things can happen. I've seen it happen plenty of times where you don't think it can, and then the game makes a total shift.
Morgan Householder serving here for Clear Spring. Crossed up Marley Knight twice in a row here now.
And she's going to continue to
got
go
her
at
again.
her, which is really smart on her part. It's a tough free ball there. So a free ball is when a team sends a passed ball over the net, they don't attack, and that's like a free ticket in volleyball. You should be able to get that ball up and get a good set and crush that ball. So just in a matter of time, it was 19-9, and now we're up. I'm sure Coach Custer is over there telling her to go at the same offensive player there. There we get a good pass. It's a great attack.
Cadence Doolin with another kill for the Hubs, just a freshman.
She's fun to watch. She definitely is explosive. And in the game of volleyball, you want to be explosive. Everything in the game that you do is explosive. And so she definitely has good hops. And when she finishes her swing, it has a lot of power and quickness to it. So she's very successful. It's enjoyable to watch her attack.
Grantham Medley now on serve for the Hubs, 20-11. Status
The
for Grantham Medley with the
smart
kill.
decision there. Marley Knight, she had to step in. The setter was out. So if Clear Spring's smart, she'll take North High setter out, and then that gets them out of system because their setter can't set the ball. But Marley Knight, the libero there, she stepped in. She was really smart. She knew where Gabby Grantham Medley was. She gave it to her back row, and she had a back row attack. That is a very hard ball to defend as well. So very smart on North's part. It's good to see they're utilizing all their offense. That was really good on Clear Springs part too. They're moving their hitters around. They got a taste of what North did there. They put their middle in the 3 zone, which is kind of to the outside, but not in the middle. And she ran the 31 ball there. There was no block up, and she scored. So both teams are maybe starting to figure out how they can get around the block and move their hitters and utilize their offense. It's good to see that. That ball was a little bit too low for Kayla Turner. She's got really long arms. She's a tall girl. Right idea, setter. Aubrey went to her at a good time in transition, but it was too low and she couldn't extend her arm. So she hit a little bit wide there.
Great luxury for the Hubs to have as much height on their roster as they have. You have Grantha Medley in back. Armani Kenny was off the court at that point, but you still have Doolin and Kayla Turner up there on the front line.
Both Doolins are up there, and that was Bailey that time. So that's a younger sister, or by 1 year. They both have hops. Candace is on the right side right now. Bailey is playing on the outside.
Marley Knight on serve, 23-13. North Hagerstown. Blocked there by Kenny, who's back on the court.
Utilizing the middle. It's good to see in transition that they're trying to get the ball to their middles. Sometimes you don't see that as much as you want to. They don't feel comfortable doing it, and setter middle connection is the hardest. It's hard to get the ball just right for them and the timing. So it's really good. Both teams have been utilizing their middles in transition, and I mentioned that earlier. You got to do that in transition play. Little overpass there. That lefty. Was Bailey doing? Now Candace, they're just playing from pin to pin. Somebody needs to terminate here.
And it's Caden Doolin that does it. And it brings us to set point, 24-14. Hubs looking to close this one out.
It's good to see they're rallying too. It's not just get the ball up and put it away. There's definitely some defense being played and some smart shots. The thing about defense is that if you don't get the ball, though, in system, it's hard to put a hard attack on a team, and then you don't terminate, and then you're just poking it in play and making it easy on them. Oh, that was a good play run by North. They got really lucky with the tape at the top of the net there. I think that tape helped them get score on that one.
So the Hubs take the first set, 25-14. Stay with us. More to come from North Hagerstown High School right after this.
Now you can get local Antietam broadband programming right on your phone or tablet. Our new WCL TV on the Go app brings our programming straight to you. You'll have access to our most recent programs like our coverage of local high school sports, the Music Makers, Inside Sports, and more. Plus, you'll have access to our live events right from the app. What are you waiting for? Download the WCL TV on the Go app now on iTunes and Google Play. It's all here on the WCL TV on the Go app from Antietam Media Services and Antietam Broadband.
I'm Linda McCollum, and welcome to the new McCollum Hearing Center. We are the Mid-Atlantic's #1 provider of quality hearing aids. Here at McCollum Hearing Center, we take our service seriously, and we stand by you and our products. I'd like to introduce clinical audiologist Betty Moss.
Hi, I'm happy to join McCollum Hearing Center, and I would like to welcome my friends, old and new, to come by.
Call or visit McCollum Hearing Center today.
Welcome back to North Hagerstown High School. And getting ready for the start of the second set. High school volleyball action brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia. Hubs winning the first set 25-14. Mark Keller and Letty Wilkes with you. And Letty, like you said, kind of a, for first set of the season for North Hagerstown here, a little bit scattered, not as organized as you might normally see the Hubs in action here.
Yeah, they started out struggling a little bit with their passing out of serve receive, and then defensively there at the beginning of that set, they were getting all their digs too tight to the net. They settled in more towards the end of the set and started getting their flow, I think. I think we'll see a different team maybe this set, just now that they know what Clear Spring's going to put on them and be ready to go. Clear Spring, they're over there fighting. They're defending. They still need to serve North aggressively. They're struggling a little bit about defensively. They're getting the balls up, but then they're not able to terminate. So they're putting just little simple rolls or quick shots over to North. It's not really making North have to dig a hard defensive attack. So they're not putting enough pressure on North right now in transition. I'd like to see them this set maybe be able to put a little bit more pressure. Addison Ziegler, they get her the ball a lot. That's that lefty that's playing on the right side. She can terminate, and we saw a couple times they were terminated out of the middle, which again, you want to use your middle in transition, but it's the hardest ball to do because you have to have the defensive dig or the pass there. So we'll see if Clear Spring can make those changes. It's going to be a different dynamic on the match. So we'll see how this goes. I think definitely Clear Spring can get them out of sync. I'd like to see North High terminate a lot more than they are. I think a couple times they played around with the ball when they should just put the ball away. Because they have enough hitters that the set doesn't have to be perfect. They should get their feet to the ball and put it down. So we'll see. Great first pass. That was a great setting decision there on Aubrey Chamberlain. She got it to Candace Doolin and on the right side, and that's a hard ball to defend. And we know she can jump and put the ball away. So that was a great first side-out play on their part.
Sophia Williams serving here for North Hagerstown. Up 1-0.
You know, something else North did after the first set, as the set was going, they grew into finding their block. So they started blocking the ball, and we just saw that. And at the same time, they started blocking. So Clear Spring's really going to have to get smart about their shots if that block is still there. And it's a pretty big one.
Nice save there by Marley Knight. And there's Ziegler.
That was a good attack there by the middle of Clear Spring. So if Clear Spring's really smart right now on the front line on North side, Aubrey Chamberlain, she's getting above the net, but she's a smaller front row player. She's their setter, and she's playing on the right side. If I was Clear Spring, I'd attack on her right now because she's not picking up near the block that the other two are on the front row right now. So Clear Spring's got to utilize that. You know, sometimes you utilize where it's not the weakest link, but where the height isn't. And right now she's the smallest player up there, so they got to attack at her.
Ziegler serving for Clear Spring, and Grantham Medley.
And they North really smart. They're using Gabby on the back row, and they're using her on the front row. She's a high flyer too, and she's athletic enough that she can make a good attack on the back row and put the ball down. So it's good to see them using her in the back row sometimes when they're out of system. It's always a good person to go to. Bailey Doolin there cheated on defense. That hurt her big time. She pulled in on defense. Defensively, when a team is attacking at you, your block has to be set, and if you're going to defend and dig the ball off your forearms, you've got to be stopped on the attack. If you're moving, it's not going to work out good, and unfortunately she was moving there, and the ball went the other way. So we want to be stopped on defense. Good attack by Ronnie Kinney. You know, it's neat that you're utilizing her in the middle. We've seen her Mark play on the right side, so it's good to see she's a versatile player. Especially she's going to college to play, and you know, when you get there, everybody's good. So you got to be versatile, and you
Right.
got to do whatever your coach says. So it's kind of cool to see that she is a little bit versatile. It's a faster paced game. It's quicker. Girls are bigger and stronger.
Another big hit from Gabby Grantham Medley.
It's also good to see North. They have a variety of hitters, so they don't have to abuse one hitter the whole time, which is nice because that can wear your arm out and hurt some shoulders. And I always wondered sometime why they don't count hitters attack count like they do in pitchers in baseball, because it honestly is the same motion. It's hard on your arm, especially if you don't have the correct form and engage your hip rotation. And a lot of kids at the high school level just use their arm and don't engage their hip. Using the middle, that's good. That was a good idea by Clear Spring. I like where Callie Hose's head was there. She tried to take a roll shot and score deep down the line, and that's a shot that if that would have scored in the court, that would have been a great shot. So it's good to see that they're trying to find ways to score and not just making attempts, you know. So that was an error, but I would kind of say that was a positive error just because she was going the right direction.
Big hit there by Audrey Allen for Clear Spring. 5-6.
They're both trying to use their middles more, and that's in transition. I know I've mentioned this several times tonight already, but that's where you're going to score. It's a great attack by Gabby Grantham Medley. I'm glad they're using her on the right side, so that makes her versatile too. She can hit from each pin. To be a good hitter, you should be able to hit anywhere on the net. Your setter should be able to run you anywhere. So being one-dimensional in one location is not necessarily the best versatile volleyball player. So it's good to see them being able to run everywhere. And Clear Spring's been able to do that too. So that's good to see on both sides of the net, that they're both being able to utilize that.
And we're seeing that kind of secondary front line there for the Hubs being effective again. Turner and the two Doolins both up there now. They've been very effective. There's Cadence Doolin, gets another kill.
It's good to see Clear Spring putting up that block. They just got to close it. They're just not in sync to put up the full block. And North is fortunately tooling it, which means they're using the block and then they're scoring points off of it. So when you tool, that's what I'm referring to. And they're trying that play again. So they ran that X pattern there, North. They scored in the first set like that. They ran the same play. I think Doolin and Kayla Turner have definitely worked on that in practice with Aubrey Chamberlain. So that's probably their fun thing to work on in practice. But they've got that down to a science. So they've got to utilize that all season. If they make it down in the playoffs, that's how they're going to beat teams. You can't just be outside, middle, right. You can't be structured. You've got to move the ball around the court. And that starts with the setter. So, you know, I credit Aubrey Chamberlain on that because she's making the hitters move around. If your setter doesn't make smart decisions, they can put hitters in really bad situations. But every hitter's got to take what they get and do something with it. So there's really no excuses to any of it. Hitters have to be there, and setters got to make good decisions.
Kayla Turner taking a break here after another kill for her.
Back row attack time is a little deep. It's hard on the back row to figure out where your inline is. It's a little bit of a change in depth perception. So Grantham Medley hit that out a little bit, but she was going for it. So I don't think she got deep enough in her approach to finish it. So she kind of pulled off a little bit. And Bailey Doolin on the outside.
Big hit from Bailey Doolin. 12-7 North Hagestown.
it's neat to see Bailey and Candace on the pins. They're both about the same type of dynamic, a little bit explosive and jump high. So it's kind of neat to see them both on each side of the net doing that.
And it feels like you're kind of seeing the future of North Hagerstown volleyball right there.
Absolutely.
And the
Those
two of
two
them,
are-
a sophomore and a freshman.
Those two are definitely going to put some kills in the books here at North High. Just explosive. You know, I really enjoy watching them both. You don't typically see that, and they're just quick and explosive. And sometimes people can jump high, but they're not. They don't have the finish like them. They're only going to get stronger and quicker. So it's only going to get, the attacks are only going to get harder for them, which is neat for the future.
15-7 North Hagerstown. We have a timeout here. Stay with us. We'll have more action from North Hagerstown High School, brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
With over 50,000 square feet of merchandise, chances are Labor's has what you need. And right now, the best way to shop is to browse laborsfurniture.com. Just pick out what you need and we can deliver your furniture to your home or office. Of course, Labor's carries office furniture and home furnishings, but did you know they also carry cleaning supplies and paper products? Labor's has a lot more than you might think, and right now, they will deliver right to your door. Family owned and operated, that's Labor's Furniture. Open to serve our community when you need us the most. Hondas are hotter than ever, so reserve your new Honda from Hagerstown Honda today. Hagerstown Honda is having vehicles delivered weekly and they don't last long, so check out HagerstownHonda.com daily. And trade-in values have never been better for the new Honda buyer, with values being up nearly 40% nationally. And if you can't find what you're looking for, let Hagerstown Honda's helpful sales consultants track down the exact Honda you've always dreamed of owning. Hondas are hotter than ever, so reserve your new Honda from the dealer that's making it easy, Hagerstown Honda. Shop online at HagerstownHonda.com.
Welcome back to North Hagerstown High School. North Hagerstown Hubs leading Clear Spring 15-7 here in set number 2. Hubs up 1-0.
Good
In
attack
action here.
Clear Spring. That got a little bit out of system there for North, and their setter had to move. She developed a great ball there for Bailey. Bailey was a little bit too slow, and that I'm surprised I'm saying that because she's a pretty quick kid. But she was late getting her feet to the ball, so she put it in the net there.
Serve into the net, gives it right back to the Hubs.
You hate that when you serve in the net and you're behind. That's Clear Spring can't afford that, but then North turned around and did the same thing.
Right
That's a consistent thing in volleyball. No matter if you're watching the Olympic team or college teams, it happens for some reason. It's just, I think a lot of times when players get back there, they don't take their time. They rush. And serving is probably the most important thing about this game. You can win ball games by aggressively serving a team off the court. A smart shot on Clear Spring's part there. Defensively, North either didn't set themselves up right. I think she was hiding a little bit behind the block. So when you have your block set up, your defenders behind you in the back court, they can't be behind the block because that block is taking that away. So they need to be around there, and she was behind the blockers. They had that taken care of. So good serve there by Clear Spring.
Morgan Householder. And she's done that a couple times now to the Hubs, crossed them up. And
yep. I'd go right back at her, too. That's how you get into a player's head sometimes.
Monty Kenny puts an end to that for the Hubs, 17-11.
Clear Spring's putting themselves in situations where they get the ball back, but then they have to fight, and they can't get enough back on them to get close to a lead, unfortunately. But they sure are working and scrambling over there. They've always been a hustling team. It's a good offense, and what I've talked about here earlier in the match, North High, when they can get their transition play and to keep the ball in system where Aubrey Chamberlain can set, they can move their hitters. That time she brought Gabby Grantham in there in the 3 zone, so she brought her in just a little bit to mess up the block, and she put the ball straight down. So it's definitely what you want to do in the game. Again, kudos to Aubrey Chamberlain, because that's where it starts. A lot of times people don't pay attention to the setter on the court because they're not the one that finished the play, but they're the one that runs the court. And it's a tough job out there. You have to be athletic. You have to be smart. You got to read the block from your opponent. And you're the one running all around the court trying to make everybody look good. So, and she's doing a really good job of that. She's small-sized, but she's getting to the ball and doing a good job with it.
Another kill for Gabby Grantham Medley. Gives the Hubs a 19-12 advantage. And Aubrey Chamberlain serving for the Hubs.
A good dig by Clear Spring. But they have to send a free ball. They're going to get it again. Good dig. Oh.
That comes right back to Grantham Medley. And the attempt out of bounds. 20-12 North Hagerstown.
I question that set there by North. She didn't have good foot positioning. The ball kind of came out a little bit. I think the ref helped her on that one. But that happens. Good attack out of the middle there by Clear Spring. So again, I've mentioned this, but Clear Spring does a great job. They're defending a lot of attacks that North's putting on them, but then they can't put anything with power back. They're just putting it back in play. I'd like to be able to see them put power, but I think they have some young hitters, and that's a developmental thing. Is the more you're on the court together, the older you get, the stronger you get, the more in sync you get with your setters. Right now, they just don't have the power to terminate all the time as much as North is. And they're fighting really hard, and they're doing a great job of digging, but they just can't terminate. And the same for North. Sometimes they're digging the ball, and they should be terminating, and they're going after just putting the ball in play, when a couple of times I think they could have put the ball down. But that's a hard decision sometimes when you're up there and you see a blocker's up, and you might panic a little bit, or you're not in good position. So if they don't have their feet, if a hitter doesn't get their feet to the ball, they're not going to have a good attack. And that's high school. That's developing as young athletes, which is cool to see girls develop. I mean, even from us watching these girls last year to this year, Mark, I think North has a little bit better in systemness. And I think Clear Spring is passing out of the serve receive a little bit better than when we saw them. We didn't see them play North before, but
Right, we saw Clear Spring against Williamsport last year.
Right.
Big kill from Bailey Doolin, 22-15.
So I think I recall Bailey Doolin last year when we watched North. She was the same type of player, but she hit out a lot, and she definitely has grown and matured in that sense. But she's definitely putting them down and in the court. Sometimes when you have a little power and you don't know how to control your body, that's when everything goes out of bounds. So she's definitely developed control and matured in her play, which is good to see. And like you said, it's a good future for them, having both those sisters being the dynamic athletic players that they are.
She is with the block.
Addison Ziegler, she had the right idea. She went there for that ball. It was a little low, and she tried to hit it too hard, and it went out of bounds on her. She was begging that ref for a touch, but it just wasn't there.
Set point here for the Hubs, 24-15.
Good attack by Addison Ziegler. She's hitting the block high, which is where she's got to hit. I'm not sure what happened there. Got out of sync a little bit. Good out of system play by Clear Spring. They smart, put it in play. It was good. They had their hands up, but Bailey Doolin definitely tooled them there. So she saw the block. She hit off the middle blocker, and it went out of bounds. So she got a kill off a tool there by using the block. Good on her part.
Set number 2 in the books, 25-15 Hubs. They lead it 2-0. Stay with us. We'll be back for set number 3 at North Hagerstown. Brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
Now you can get local Antietam broadband programming right on your phone or tablet. Our new WCL TV on the Go app brings our programming straight to you. You'll have access to our most recent programs like our coverage of local high school sports, the Music Makers, Inside Sports, and more. Plus, you'll have access to our live events right from the app. What are you waiting for? Download the WCL TV on the Go app now on iTunes and Google Play. It's all here on the WCL TV on the Go app from Antietam Media Services and Antietam Broadband.
All right, guys, we have got to find more ways to buy more used cars for our lots here at Hagerstown Honda and Kia.
Oh, I have an idea. Here's how I would do it. Hello there. Hey, I'm Scott with Hagestown Honda and Kia, and I want to buy your car.
Yeah, that one's probably not going to work.
Better yet, just bring your vehicle to Hagerstown Kia and Honda. We'll do a quick inspection, crunch some numbers with you, and then we'll trade your title for a check. Hagerstown Honda and Kia. Turn your car into cash. Seems like everyone you meet today claims to be a content creator. Well, at Antietam Media Services, we're much more than just content creators. We're producers, directors, and editors that are never afraid to roll up our sleeves and bring our expertise to you. From full-blown live multicam productions live streamed to the world, to single-camera commercial production, we've got the gear, we've got the people, and we've got the drive to give your event or business the exposure it deserves. We've been doing this since 1981, and Antietam Media Services has produced tens of thousands of hours of live content and thousands of commercials that put your name on the networks and on the digital platforms that provide you the biggest return on investment. It's a big world out there, and we're ready to help you tell your story. Call, email, or log on to AntietamMediaServices.com and tell us more about your project. 4 decades of experience and never afraid of a challenge. We're Antietam Media Services.
Welcome back to North Hagerstown High School. Volleyball continues here on Antietam Broadband. Tonight's live coverage brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's match, the schools they represent, and the surrounding communities that support them. North Hagerstown Hubs, Clear Spring Blazers. Early season volleyball action here from North Hagerstown. The Hubs leading at 2-0, 25-14, 25-15 over the Blazers. Clear Spring with a 1-0 record coming in here. Opening match of the season for the Hubs, who will be traveling to Westminster this weekend for tournament action. Good for them to get some tournament action in, Letty?
Absolutely. On a team like North High or, other teams in our county that are going to make it down into playoffs, you want to be able to play on the weekends, and you want to travel a little bit to see maybe teams that you're going to see off in playoff play, get different dimensions, play teams in other classes that might be bigger, because that's what's going to make you better. So traveling to play, if I was in a high school, coaching role, I'd play every weekend or, majority of weekends so that my team is playing. So when it gets down to state playoffs time, you've got all the kinks out. You know where you're at. You have time on the weekends to work on stuff. So I think that's good that they're doing that. I'd like to see more teams do that. It's a great attack there by Addison Ziegler. So she hit the zone 2. That's a really hard shot to hit. It's really sharp over the court. If she can continue to hit there, they're going to score a lot, but it's a hard one to hit. So it's good to see her do that. They might have talked about that here before this set. That's a great defensive play there on Clear Spring's part. I'm telling you, they don't give up. It's good to watch them play defense. They really put their block up and set their defense up around. And if they're there, they're going to get it up. So I think as the season grows for them, they'll be a good defensive team, which they typically are. They're a hustling team. They defensively are there. This is game 2 in the season for them. So I think we'll see them develop. And I think in the class that they're in, you're going to see them in playoff time. North High obviously is going to get better. This is their first game, so they got some kinks to work out. But they're definitely, at the same time, got the personnel to be able to be very successful down in playoff time. As the season goes on, your team grows together, and you learn each other, and you get better. So those balls, like Armani Kinney just hit that one long. At the end of the season, that'll be going in.
Right.
So working out the kinks. Might be a new setter. I think Aubrey Chamberlain did set for them last year, if I recall. But still, it's just different dynamics. Nice serve by Clear Spring. Hit the tape, and that net, it helped North High that one time on that attack, and it just helped Clear Spring on the it's a 50-50. It's either going to go your way or not go your way. So we love it when it goes our way.
Quick 5-1 lead here for the Blazers, and now 6-1. Grantham Medley puts that one into the net. This is the first kind of extended run we've seen here for Clear Spring.
Yeah. She didn't get her feet to the ball there, and she should have not attacked that as hard as she did. So that's the growing part about being a good hitter. You got to know when you can go and when you got to make a smart attack.
Aubrey Chamberlain brings an end to that Clear Spring run.
Clear Spring will want to get this ball back in at least 1 or 2 points to keep themselves in the play scheme here. The one thing I do notice, and it is at the beginning of the season, so it's most definitely going to change, but I don't feel like either team is serving over aggressive. It's just kind of putting the ball over the net. So I honestly would like to see both teams be a little bit more aggressive on their serves, where passers have to really move and really talk to each other to who's passing the ball, but I feel like it's just get it over the net right now, and that's something you develop as the season goes on.
I was going to say, do you think that's just kind of an early season kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it is an early on thing, but I hope when we see these teams later in the season that we see a different serving technique, meaning more aggressive. That's how you get teams in bad situations. And saying that, some teams don't work on it that much. They're working on their offense, they're working on that. But serving is a big part of the game, like I mentioned before, and it should be a big part of your practice. And unfortunately, a lot of times that doesn't happen. But like I said, I think it'll change as the season goes on.
Well, the Hubs have come all the way back here, tied it up 6-6. Sydney Wilt serving for the Hubs. First we've seen her in action tonight, and she's brought the Hubs right back here in the third set. And now the Hubs with the lead.
She's a younger player for them. It looks like she's a sophomore, so that's good that they're getting some other people a little bit of play action, because that's how you get the younger ones an opportunity. Clear Spring did a good job of getting ahead at the beginning of this set. So they're in a good position right now on a tied 7-7. But they got to stay here. They can't get behind because, unfortunately, North just has that termination factor and that finishing factor, attacking, and they don't have that edge. Clear Spring doesn't have that edge on them at this point in time in the season. Again, they're going to develop, but North just has a stack amount of hitters. They have 3 hitters up at the net all times, except when Aubrey Chamberlain is up at the net setting. But when she's up at the net, like I said, she's smaller, but she allows availability for 2 hitters, and she can split them, meaning one can run behind her and one can run to the other pin, which is very hard to block and very hard to defend. We haven't really seen that tonight, so that's something else from them and their dynamic offense. I would like to see later on in the season to see if they can start running, Armani Kinney or even Kayla Turner running some slides behind that setter and open it up and really making that block move. As they get down into playoffs, that's the type of stuff they're going to have to do when they face bigger teams and that are just as talented as they are at the net with the block and attack-wise.
Cubs take a 9-8 lead. Glad to have you with us here on Antietam Broadband tonight for live action. We have replays of this match coming up next week, Monday and Tuesday, September 12th and 13th at 8 p.m., both of those nights. Saturday and Sunday, September 17th and 18th, both of those days at 10 a.m. The Hubs now with a 10-8 lead.
Clear Spring's going to either want to call a timeout here or make a transition on this service right here. It's a good attack, a good thought, but you don't want to tip right at somebody. So tipping can be used and it can definitely score, but she just tipped right to a person. So you want to tip where they're not. The defense there by Clear Spring.
And it's Grantham Medley again, giving the Hubs an 11-8 advantage.
That set was a little bit inside, and she's athletic enough that she can get to that ball and put that away. I'd like to see her get her feet a little bit better to the ball and really put the ball away. But she's doing a good job.
This is the first of 2 high school volleyball matches we'll be bringing to you here this season on Antietam Broadband. We'll be back here at North Hagerstown in October.
That net. Gabby got help with that net. That's happened quite a few times here tonight, Mark. And honestly, that's why defensively Clear Spring didn't get that ball. Defensively, she was stopped, she was ready to go, and then it dropped the ball short on her, and she didn't push forward to move to get that defensive dig up. It's a good attack there by Clear Spring in the middle. So most of the time that these girls have tonight, both for North and Clear Spring, when they run that offense in the middle in transition, they've scored. And the reason that happens is because the middle offense is much faster. The sets are shorter, they're quicker. And defensive, you don't have time to get set, to put up the block, or get stopped to defend. So that's why both teams are scoring out of the middle, because it's too quick. You have time to get set up on the higher tempo sets to the pins, meaning the outside and the right side. Good up.
Good hit from Grantham Medley.
Great hustle on Clear Spring Court. Unfortunately, they didn't get it, but defensively they're there. So, these 2 teams face each other later in the season. It could be a little bit different ball game, because they're both going to get better. But again, North High just has more hitting weapons. And I give Clear Spring a heck of a lot of credit, because they're there and they're trying to battle and defend as much as they can. They're not making it easy on North. They're making them play.
16-9. North Hagerstown lead. Emily Gassaway serving for the Hubs. Another player seeing her first action here tonight.
That middle attack.
Kayla Turner.
Too quick and it scores. So I would also say later in play down the season that North needs to utilize that middle, especially when they're facing bigger teams that are quicker. Out of system here. Wish Candace Doolin would have got herself a better situation. She didn't get herself prepared there to attack, so she had to send a free ball. You don't want to send free balls. She answered that time, so that's good. Yeah, we don't want to send free balls over. That's like the last resort. And what I'm saying to our viewers, if you don't know what a free ball is, it's a forearm pass, and you just send it over the net. So it's the easiest ball to defend. And it's like a free ticket to like a concert or something. You should have the best time of your life, so you should score. So we try to make that our last resort to have to send a free ball. You want to attack or send a down ball and then not send that free ball if you don't have to. So good thing Doolin there recovered after she sent that free ball. Then she got a kill. That definitely makes your coach more happy. There's that cross X pattern again. Unfortunately, her feet weren't to the ball. So she tried to put in play with a tip, and it didn't work out. But good to see them trying to utilize that play more than one time. They've tried to do it a couple times. They scored twice, made it error once. I like it. They got to keep staying dynamic.
Bailey Doolin looking surprised that she got a point out of that one. 19-10, Hubs lead it. They're up 2-0 here. Looking to close out the Blazers in 3.
Good save there by Aubrey Chamberlain.
Monty Kenny.
The ball was a little tight. She had to kind of turn her body. Good job staying out of the net. Unfortunately, I think the setter misjudged that ball there for Clear Spring, and they didn't know who was to hit there. So definitely a game of communication as well. 6 people out there all have to work together and make it work. And it's all about ball control, which is really hard because it's hard enough to control your body. And whatever your body does is what that ball is going to do. So that's what controls the direction of that ball.
And 22-11. North Hagerstown. Sophia Williams checks back in, and she'll be on serve here. The Hubs 3 points from victory. And now 2. 23-11.
So Clear Spring that time ran their middle out of serve receive. That's not necessarily when you want to do it because as you could see, the block was there right on her, didn't have to move. So as I mentioned, that's why we want to do it in rally transition play. So right now you'd want to utilize your middle if the pass or dig allows. Right now is when you want to utilize your middle. Unfortunately, they had to hustle down there. Here's a great time to utilize your middle. That's a good setter dump there by Aubrey Chamberlain. So she's running a 5-1 offense, and what that means is there's a setter on the court and 5 other players. But when she's on the front row, she can become a hitter. So there's 3 hitters. She's just one of them, and then she has 2 that can attack. And so she's up there in right front now in her base position, and she setter dump. And it's a great time to score. Sometimes setters can utilize their setter dumps a little bit too much, and then they don't use a lot of their hitters. But that's the first time she tried it tonight, and it worked. So good for her.
The Hubs at match point here, leading at 24-12, and there is match point as Ziegler's serve is into the net. Hubs take set 3, 25-12, and they sweep the Clear Spring Blazers. We'll be right back here to North Hagerstown High School to wrap things up. Brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.
Come see Red Baron Flooring on Vazel Boulevard in Hagerstown for the best selection and the most competitive prices. Shop our beautiful showroom or select your new flooring from our large warehouse where our in-stock values save you time and money. You can rely on our knowledgeable sales staff to make shopping at Red Baron the same satisfying experience for you that it's been for Tri-State consumers for more than 40 years. So let our flooring experts help you to the best selection at everyday low prices. Visit us at Red Baron Flooring on Vazel Boulevard next to Labor's Office Furniture in Hagerstown.
Now's the best time to purchase your new vehicle from Hagerstown Kia. Hagerstown Kia is having vehicles delivered weekly, and they don't last long, so check out HagerstownKia.com daily. Trade-in values have never been better for the new Kia buyer, with values being up nearly 40% nationally. And if you can't find what you're looking for, let Hagerstown Kia's helpful sales consultants custom order the exact Kia you've always dreamed of owning. Reserve your new Kia from the dealer that's making it easy, Hagerstown Kia.
For over 30 years, Antietam Broadband has been bringing you one-of-a-kind local programming, from coverage of our high school sports to unique programming like our Civil War and Washington County series. Now you can own them on Blu-ray and DVD. Just visit store.antietamcable.com, where you'll find all your favorite local programming from Antietam Broadband. Browse through our categories to find the perfect gift. Antietam Broadband and Antietam Media Services, bringing quality local programming to your home. Now you can get local Antietam Broadband programming right on your phone or tablet. Our new WCL TV On The Go app brings our programming straight to you. You'll have access to our most recent programs like our coverage of local high school sports, The Music Makers, Inside Sports, and more. Plus, you'll have access to our live events right from the app. What are you waiting for? Download the WCL TV On The Go app now on iTunes and Google Play. It's all here on the WCL TV On The Go app from Antietam Media Services and Antietam Broadband.
Welcome back here to North Hagerstown High School. Volleyball action brought to you tonight by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia. The North Hagerstown Hubs sweeping the Clear Spring Blazers in 3 sets, 25-14, 25-15, and 25-12. Mark Keller along with Letty Wilkes here. And Letty, just the North Hagerstown in winning this tonight, I think really showed the depth that they have on this roster. You know, we talked about Gabby Grantham Medley and Armani County and Aubrey Chamberlain in the pregame, but so many other players stepped up. Bailey Doolin, Cadence Doolin, most notably for the Hubs here tonight.
Yeah, I think they're definitely a well-balanced team. It's not a one-man show. Like I said, they're balanced, and they have weapons coming from all angles. And it's nice because Aubrey Chamberlain, and I talked about this during the match, but she runs the court, and she has so many people that she can utilize and she can set and she can go to. And as a setter, that's what you want. So it's going to be neat to see them develop out of the season, because I mentioned during the match tonight, they kind of moved around, worked on their dynamics in their offense, and they did some neat stuff that you don't necessarily sometimes see at the beginning of the season. So as the season develops, it will be neat to see how they're utilizing those hitters, as well as how well they're passing, and their defensive digging allows them to be dynamic like that. If they don't have the passing and their digging, they won't be able to do those things. So we saw a touch of that tonight. I hope later in the season we'll see more of that. But yeah, they're well balanced, and I'm glad to see they're playing teams on the weekends too. So when they get to playoff time, they're ready to go, because I think they have a good shot at it. But again, you have to be cohesive. You got to work together, and anybody can win on any given night type of deal. So But they definitely have the tools.
Yeah, you mentioned North Hagerstown will be playing at Westminster in a tournament this weekend. Clear Spring falls to 1-1 now with the loss. They'll play next week. They'll host Oakdale in their next match. So for Clear Spring, we talk a lot about the teamwork that they display out there, the kind of the chippiness and that never say die attitude that they have out there. And I would imagine that that's something that's just going to continue to develop as the season goes on.
They've got tools too. They're just not as big, as explosive. They don't have the powerhouse hitters that North has. But defensively, their game is they dig behind. They do put up a block. It's not necessarily huge every time, but their defense behind the block is there. There's so many times that North attacked where I think a lot of teams this season, it'll just be a kill. But Clear Spring was able to defend. They were able to get touches. And as the season goes on, those touches become digs that they can actually run the offense. So kudos to Clear Spring because they could have rolled over. I mean, the score doesn't definitely show necessarily what Clear Spring did. I think they defended a lot more than the score would show. So it'll be cool. They're a scrappy team. You can see that they get along really well. They play as a team, and they work really hard. So, and I think in the class that they play for Maryland, they're going to be in the playoffs too. Our county, it's always been a county to have volleyball in it. But, I think Clear Spring is going to be there, and they just got to keep growing. And every team grows throughout the season. So it'll be cool to see how they both, North and Clear Spring, develop over the season. North's one of those teams that they could plateau. They could be 2 weeks the same as they are today. But Clear Spring's one of those teams that can grow and be a whole different team. And North is too, but North has enough weapons that they can be complacent and just stay like this. We hope that doesn't happen. I hope they'll grow, but they have enough weapons that they could be just maintain and be satisfied. And that's not what people viewing the game want to see. Their coaches don't want to see that, but sometimes that happens. So hopefully that won't be the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we remind you that tonight's live coverage is brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia, the dealers that make it easy. Hagerstown Honda and Kia wish much success to the student athletes participating in tonight's game, the schools they represent, and the surrounding communities that support them. We mentioned that we'll have replays of tonight's match Monday and Tuesday, September 12th and 13th. Those nights both at 8 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, September 17th and 18th at 10 a.m. both of those mornings. And we'll have more live volleyball coverage for you on October 18th. We'll be right back here at North Hagerstown High School as the Hubs take on the Boonesboro Warriors. Our next live sports coverage for you will come to you next Friday night, September 16th. We'll be at South Hagerstown High School as the Rebels take on the Smithsburg Leopards in high school football. So for Letty Wilkes, I'm Mark Keller. Thanks for joining us here tonight on Antietam Broadband for high school volleyball, brought to you by Hagerstown Honda and Hagerstown Kia.